I don't even have time to be disoriented before I hit the stone ground, hard. I struggle to pick myself up and stand, but before I can, footsteps approach. Evelyn's, of course, and I'm hauled to my feet. She does it with one hand. She's way stronger than she looks. Hello, Tara. As expected, we're in the church. She drags me over and throws me onto the altar. I try to resist, but my limbs won't move. Oh, hey. Thanks for the ride. I'm scared. More scared than I've ever been in my whole life, but I don't want her to have the satisfaction of knowing it. She walks away, out of sight, although I can still hear her close by. They're gonna come for me, you know. We figured out your whole plan. They're probably already on their way. Let them. I'll kill them too. Her tone is casually disinterested. She can't even give me the courtesy of pretending she cares. I wish I could move my head to see her, but I can't. I can't move any part of me other than my mouth. It's always such a nice feeling to return here. Such a sense of renewal and energy. Although I imagine right now, you don't feel the same way. I don't know. I'm digging the ambience. I'm about to die and I'm making jokes. I mean, what else am I supposed to do? We had a plan, one with a good chance of working. I know that Mads and the rest won't abandon me. They'll just switch it up a little, same as if she'd taken Morgan like we expected. Honestly, it's probably better for everyone that Morgan's the one who's still free right now. She's less likely to screw something up than I am. Still, it's all I can do to suppress the little voice inside me telling me to be afraid, to acknowledge that I'm going to die. Or worse. Really, you should be thanking me. For what? I must have missed it. Because by dying here, you've given poor Morgan another chance. If she runs away now, I have no need of her. I'll let her live. Of course, if she turns up here with any delusions of grandeur, she'll die along with the rest of them. A chill runs up my spine. Because I know, beyond a shadow of a doubt, there's no way she won't come for me, that she won't run away. Still, the way that Evelyn can talk so cruelly about her own daughter makes it hard for even me to keep up my attitude. You really don't feel anything, do you? You raised her, you lived with her, and even after all that? Finally, you get something right. I don't feel anything for her. You got something wrong, too. Evelyn halts and then stalks closer to the altar, close enough that I can see her wildly dilated pupils, the razor-sharp points on her fangs. I didn't raise her. I cultivated her. From the minute she was born, I prepared her for this fate, to be a worthy vessel. How could I have known that a much more useful one would arrive at my doorstep, just days away from my ascension? Now she takes a step back, letting the moonlight fall across her. She arches her back like a cat, enjoying it. She raises an arm and I'm lifted into the air like a circus performer, suspended from nothing. My arms are snapped to my sides. I struggle as hard as I can, but I still can't move at all. I can't even flail around. Still, her words pique my curiosity, and I'm dying to know what she means. Since I might be dying anyway, I might as well ask. More useful how? She grins. Because this night is very, very special. For years, centuries even, I've whiled away my time here in Eysenfeld. It's amused me to no end. But I've grown bored of it. I desire to see more of the world. And while any human body would do, I suppose, there's merit in one such as yourself. One with influence and fame. I don't even know the words to convey how disgusted I feel. It's not even enough for her to steal my body, but she also wants to pretend to be me? I think the horror I feel must show on my face because she smirks. As she does so, her skin starts to shimmer and shake, like there's light just underneath it. A thin thread of ethereal matter, like the spell that she used to bring me here, ekes into existence. It stretches between her hand and my chest. The second it comes into contact with me, I feel like all the strength is sapped out of me, like I'm being sedated. I hope I'm only passing out and not dying. I'm not sure if the two feel different. It would suck extra hard if I was dying, though, because then my last sight would be Evelyn sneering cruelly. Just before it all goes black, she manages to get in one final taunt. What an ironic fate for you, don't you think? You came out here seeking magic, and now you found it. We're up and ready to go nearly the instant that Tara disappears. It's a shock, of course, but not one that messes up all of our plans. I walk to the front door, which is still open and banging in the wind. I'm going to fucking kill her if she hurts Tara. Tara will be fine. She's tough. Besides, we've got a plan, right? After a long moment, I nod. Right. Maddie turns back to face Abigail, who's half hidden by the bedroom door. Are you sure if you want to go, sweetheart? You can stay here. Of course not. There's no way you're doing this alone. I'm just a little nervous, that's all. Me too. I'm a lot nervous, actually. We'll be fine, though. If she keeps saying that, it'll be true, right? I wish I could believe it. I wonder if Maddie even does. I scoop up Galadura and wait outside. We need to leave now, but I force myself not to rush them along. A minute later, they follow me outside. We run. The landmarks pass us by without a pause. We hurry out into the woods. Despite some wind and fog, the night is relatively clear. Are you sure you don't want me to just take you to the church? I could have us there in a second. I know, but she can't know about your powers yet. If we arrive too fast, then Evelyn will know something's up. It would be nice to take the easy way like that, but we can't do anything rashly. Not if we might hurt Tara in the long run. Right. We have to wait until her soul is out of her body. That's when we'll send the signal. Do you know how long that'll last? Like, how long it'll be exposed? I have no idea. I hope it won't be instant. You hope? I nod. I wish that I knew more, I really do. But it's magic, and magic is rarely predictable. That's the only thing that I can say with confidence about it. I'm not sure what more I should say. This is where we'll have to part, even though I'm making the rest of the journey on foot. Maddie and Abigail will need to use magic to get to the fairy clearing. Before we do, though, there's one last thing I need to say. Maddie? I know there isn't really time, but I need to say this, since I might not get another chance to. Galadura nuzzles my chin, reassuring me. I'm sorry. That doesn't even come close to describing it, but it's all that I can say. For bringing you out here, getting you involved in all of this, I never imagined any of it would ever turn out this way. So if you still hate me, I understand. I just wanted you to know. It feels good to have the words out there. I've spent so much time apologizing these past few weeks, but it's still a bit of relief every time. Morgan. Well, first of all, I accept your apology, but I promise I never hated you. It was my fault for acting like such a bitch when we first got here. And as for everything else, well, some of it might have been Tara's fault, but a lot of it was my fault too. So let's get this over with. We'll save Tara, take care of Evelyn, and then we'll all go home. Simple, right? I just nod again. I'm not sure I can talk right now. Not without crying, and I hate crying. I wish it were that simple. I hope it will be that simple. But it rarely is. I swallow the lump in my throat. I have to say something. You're right. It's simple. I take a deep breath, clear my head as best as I can. I've been waiting my entire life for this. My entire bloodline has led me to this point. A chance to end all the pain I've endured, to save someone I loved, to make sure the countless people who carried this burden before me will be avenged, and to make sure that no one else will get hurt. How it goes from here isn't just up to me, it's up to all of us. Around us, the wind quickens and grows in intensity. The bright full moon looms high over us. One last time I nod at Maddie and Abigail. Okay, let's go. This is hardly a plan. It's barely more than an idea. It relies far too much on luck and everything going our way. But it's all we have. The furious winds tell me that I'm in the right place, as if there were any doubt. When I approach the doors to the church, they blast open. I've been expected. I don't waste any time. I rush in. Tara floats in midair, suspended by invisible magic. She lies prone, but with her arms and legs apparently locked in place. She looks dead. A colorful cloud floats above her, with a long tail spiraling back towards her body. I don't even need to be told. I know that it's her soul. It thrashes about as much as a cloud can, but is seemingly locked out. Below, Evelyn stands hunched with her back to me. A trail of malevolent white magic tethers her to Tara. Moonlight pours through the window behind them, piercing Tara and illuminating Evelyn. When she hears me enter, she stands up straight, her back cracking obscenely. She's disgusting.
Morgan, you came.
Her voice isn't the voice I know. It's raspy and inhuman. It echoes around the church, louder than it should be, dragging itself from corner to corner.
I knew you would. You always do.
Her body spasms and twitches as if electrified. Still, her voice remains steady and flat. Of course I came. You're not taking Tara. You're not taking anyone else, ever again. She laughs, but it sounds like a choke. There's no humor in it. It's inhuman.
Do you know how many times I've heard that before? Countless. And yet, here we are. Predictable. You humans always are. Curiously so. You have all this freedom, but don't know how to use it. Pity. Pity, pity, pity. Soon, I'll have taken the body of your friend, and you will be dead, and I will be far, far gone. You see, I've grown tired of playing pretend out here in the woods. I've decided it's time for something new. And Tara is going to give that to me.
You're still a pretender. Evelyn seems to notice Caladura for the first time, and she licks her bloody lips.
You. So you're here too? Fitting.
Evelyn's gaze narrows, then her eyes widen once more. She points imperiously at Caladura and I, and the stone walls of the church rumble in response.
I can tell. You're still no queen. No more than that brat who stands beside you. You're still powerless. Tell me, who's the pretender now?
A brick detaches itself from the ceiling, plummeting down straight towards us. I dart out of the way, barely managing to avoid it. Caladura yowls as I squeeze her harder than intended.
You're just as pitiful as she is. What did you think you could do? How did you think you had any chance? Or is it just human nature to try, even if you're doomed to fail?
The moon is at its peak, or close to it. If she waits much longer, she won't be able to complete the ritual, and she'll have done our job for us. Maybe she knows this, because she turns away from us once again. I have to stop her. I push my leg forward,
but some invisible force pushes us back. Like moving through quicksand, I can barely inch forward. Something's protecting her. Inch by inch, I have to keep moving. A pulsing ball of magic starts to form in front of Evelyn, and she focuses intently on it. The light from the moon falls directly on her. Her skin reacts to it, bubbling and boiling like hot wax. It must be agonizing, but she doesn't react. Maybe she's beyond pain. Galadora leaps out of my arms, making her own way beside me. Her breathing is ragged and labored. Neither of us waste energy on more words. I don't know what I'll do if I reach Evelyn. I just know that I can't sit still. The coalescing ball of magical energy continues to grow and grow, taking on a sinister dark hue, the color of a moonless night, the color of an empty void. It starts to spin, crackle, and shimmer. That's when I realize this isn't for the soul transfer. It's too strong, too unstable. Before I even finish my thought, a tendril of malevolent energy suddenly shoots out straight towards me. It moves too fast for me to react. It pierces me like an arrow. Godless, fiery pain burns through my veins. My whole body stiffens, refusing to move. I can't even cry out. Each individual atom of my body feels like it's being tortured, like a burning needle is being driven through them. I want to scream. I want some sort of release. But I'm not even granted that mercy. Behind the pain, there's a rising, mounting horror. I'm going to die here after all, aren't I? My vision starts to go black. I welcome oblivion. At least then, I won't have to hurt anymore. I try to move my eyes, to fixate on Tara. If I'm going to die, I at least want my last sight to be of her, even like this. I can't even manage that. All I see is Evelyn. She says something, her lips moving, but I'm deaf to it. All I can hear is a deep, resonating ringing sound in my ears, like some perverse bell toll. Then, Evelyn's eyes go wide, wider than before. The air behind her shimmers and shakes, just like her magic spell. Empty space tears itself open, and she's sucked backwards like a ragdoll. In an instant, the magic and the pain is gone, leaving behind no trace. I fall forward, my momentum having been locked in place with me, and just ahead, Tara crashes to the ground, limply. I stagger to my feet, not trusting my body to support me, but it does. The complete absence of pain is a shock in its own right. I feel like I should be experiencing the after effects, but I'm not. All that lingers is the memory. Galadora scurries over to me.
Morgan, are you all right?
I think so. I feel fine, actually. What happened to Evelyn? She licks the back of her paw for a second, then stops.
I'm afraid that I panicked and sent the signal to Madison. I tried to help you, but I couldn't. My own power is still weak. Not nearly enough to match Evelyn's.
There's no changing it now. None of this matters if Maddie isn't able to stop Evelyn. It was going to be unlikely to begin with. It looks like we're in a hard fight. Galadora must know as much too. She pats back and forth, her tail twitching in agitated fervor. I stroke her fur. Still, thank you. Can you help me check on Tara?
Of course.
We rush over to where Tara lies prone on the cold floor. Her soul is nowhere to be seen, which I hope means it returned to her body. I cradle her as tenderly as I can, checking for a sign of a pulse or breath. Please be okay? Please? 2 tears drip down my face, landing on hers. I didn't realize I was crying. Galadora lingers beside us, nuzzling her face against Tara's cheek.
She's alive. I can feel that much.
Is she okay, though?
I don't think she should be experiencing any lasting effects from the magic. It's the fall to the ground that worries me more.
That's true. She fell from pretty high up onto a stone floor. I wipe away the tears that fell on her, steeling myself to prevent any more. I trace my finger around the curve of her jaw, down to her lips. They press together just a bit to kiss my finger. Tara? Tara, can you hear me? I'm afraid to let hope spring into my heart again. Our lips move, just barely. I can't hear you. There's a soft, blessedly warm gust of air against my face as she sighs and forces her eyes open.
I said, I'm dumb as bricks, babe. It'll take more than head trauma to hurt me.
I pull her up and into a hug, and she pats my back. You're okay? Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
I wipe my eyes as we part to face each other once again. I was so scared.
I wasn't. I knew you'd save me.
I don't deserve someone like her.
Is there any way we can get to Mads? She might need our help.
We both turn to face Gilladura.
I can take us there, but I don't know how much use I'll be once we arrive.
Tara moves to question, but I place a hand lightly on her arm. Gilladura's barely holding on as is, and her guilt at her inability to do more is palpable. It's all up to Maddie. Let's go. There isn't much time. I help Tara to her feet, and she immediately winces, hissing in pain. Are you okay?
I'm fine. Guess I just hurt my ankle in the fall.
She's able to stand on her own, giving me a shaky smile. I don't like it, but there's nothing I can do right now. At least it's only her foot and not her head or back. With a graceful jump, Gilladura hops into my arms once more. I stand next to Tara, who leans against me for support. With one hand, I support the cat. With my other, I take Tara's other hand in my own. Then I nod. We're ready.